Hey folks, it's Zion Prepper here, and in this short video what I want to do is talk with my wife and have her explain how she supports our prepping endeavors, how she contributes to our prepping endeavors, because it's extremely important to have your spouse, partner, family members, or other groups support you in your prepping endeavors. It's very hard to prep alone unless you are simply alone. So we'll get to the questions, and this might help some of you YouTubers down the road to get the support of your spouse, partner, family members in your endeavors. So without further ado, so Mrs. Zion Prepper, tell us, what did you think when I first started prepping?
Well, to be honest, I thought you might have been a little nuts. And I think it's important that as new preppers, as you bring your family members into it and your spouses, to go slowly. That's very important for the people that are seeing this as a new idea and a new concept, because if you tend to come on too strong with a lot of big ideas and a lot of doomsday scenarios on why you need to do things, it kind of puts people off. So I would suggest coming out little slowly and gradually, a little bit at a time, because it is a big idea and a big concept that maybe a lot of people haven't really considered, but as you learn more about it, it becomes it does come to make a lot of sense as you begin to learn more about it.
So we've been prepping for a while. What does it mean to you? How do you define it?
Well, we may have different ideas on where you want the prepping to go, but I think we're on the same page as to why we do it, and it's mainly to prepare ourselves as well as we can for the unexpected. And the unexpected can be many things that we've seen on TV or heard about or experienced, and maybe some that we couldn't even fathom. And that can be things from environmental tragedies to invasions from other countries, to wars that we may have in the future, to natural disasters such as floods and tornadoes and things that we're just now starting to hear about, such as these solar flares that have hit the news. So
going forward, explain how you support me and our family in our prepping endeavors.
I'm not sure how supportive I was in the beginning, to be honest, because I was still new to the idea. I was still learning and trying to understand where you were coming from on the whole prepping idea. And I think once I defined it for myself and had certain needs and goals for our family that I saw that were going to be met, then I was much more open and kind of finally got on the same page with you. Because I have to admit, in the beginning, I did tend to see it as financially as maybe some of it being a waste, but as I learned more about it, I did see the need for some things. So I would hope to think that I do support you in talking about ideas and making plans for things that we'd like to purchase or prepare for. But at the same time, we do have to agree and be careful on how we do prepare, because we do have limited resources at this time, so we're trying to agree on things that we want to move forward with, and that could be big purchases or saving for a big purchase, or because prepping can kind of be overwhelming. And where do you start? Well, you try to start with what you can, and a lot of that can be just even the food that you buy or the water that you prepare for. That can even be done a little at a time, along with maybe saving for some big purchases. So you definitely have to communicate, and you have to plan and agree on what you're going to be doing.
If I were not a prepper, would you see it as a necessary trait for somebody to have? Or
absolutely. Absolutely. Even if you didn't plan to prepare and prep as extensive as we will and are, I think you would do a disservice to yourself if you didn't have some type of food and water preparation for anything as simple as a tornado that can wipe out a town and have power knocked out for miles and miles and thousands of people. I've seen that happen. I've seen, and I think we've all seen people without, power and heat or air, or without food and sitting in long lines, having to depend on the government or stores to get food for another couple of days. I don't want to be in that position where I'm out begging or having to stand in long lines for food. I want to be secure in knowing that I have at least a couple of weeks worth of food and water that I can depend on for myself.
So what are the benefits that you see to prepping?
The benefits would be a peace of mind. At least for me as a mother, I have that peace of mind in knowing that I can provide for my kids. If we're out of something, if we're out of heat or air conditioning or food or water, I have that for them, and we have a certain amount of time to go and make sure that we can secure those resources, and we don't have to be panicked, and we don't have to scare our children or have them go hungry or get sick or feel threatened or scared in a scary situation.
Alright folks, I'm going to cut this off here because we're going on almost 8 minutes. I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this as well, so please take a look at part 2. And then Cyan Prepper saying thanks for watching.